Hi, Mum. Yeah, it's just me, as you would say. Happy birthday for the other day. Obviously, I couldn't find you. I don't know, I haven't known how to contact you, so the only thing I can think about is making this video and putting it on YouTube and then getting Tara to let you know, or Lynette can help you to watch it on YouTube. Because, I'm just sort of wondering what's going on. Yeah, Rose and Emma, they'll probably be coming back in July, August, Mum. So I'm sure you want to see Emma. I'm the same person as what I was before. I was mentally unstable, Mum. And I'm not that now. Our last conversations, remember? Our last four, after you dropped your phone in the toilet, we had sort of 4 conversations or so since then, before this phone's gone off. And I gather you don't want to ring me because you don't want the phone number to come up, because you still for some reason think it's a good idea not to tell me where you live. I mean, what am I to take of that? And I'm just sort of over in a corner, just pushed away, like, quietly, so he's just not around now or something. I really don't understand the logic, and it's not fair. I'm not going to talk about what's her face, that could get me into trouble. But I have a feeling that you feel that it's just easier to not talk to me because, I don't know, maybe you didn't even let them know that you were still talking to me on the phone. Yeah, our last 4 conversations, and they were good ones, because I even remember to myself that, it's hard to get you to talk sometimes, and the phone calls, like, I find them hard to answer because not much gets said, and I sort of have to be in a mood. I don't want to be in sort of a not so good mood and let that come across as well to the other person. And yeah, so I don't always answer, but I'd try and get back to you when I sort of would feel up to it, Mum. I thought we had that sort of understanding, and I was, before getting sick there, I sort of didn't want to talk to anyone after Emma and Rose left, because I felt, I don't know, just sort of so alone all of a sudden, and wanted to make it totally alone. But then I went through that illness there for about 8 months, actually. And anyway, our last 4 phone calls, remember I told you the story of because I thought to myself, it's hard to sometimes get us to talk, or you to bring things out, sort of thing. It's just quick and then hello, goodbye. I thought I'd try a bit harder and tell you a story. And remember, I told you about the going to Warwick, and then Warwick and Rose and Mary staying at the Rose and Crown, which was just at the village square. So Rose, Mary and Warwick at the Rose and Crown in Warwick, and just you could see from the village square, you could see a steeple, and then we found out when we got to the church that that was St Mary's Church, remember? So all that Mary, Warwick and Rose, all that coming together, and I told you that story, and I'm not sure if sometimes you remember stuff like that or whatever. But then, yeah, we had still and I even remember the first call when you called back. That was after you dropped your phone in the toilet, and then it took 3 or 4 weeks before you could fix it. When you did call me back, I was crying, Mum, that you'd call me back, because I thought you were sort of taking sides, and you even said, no, I'm not taking sides, and you're my son, you know, that's what you said to me. And now I can't understand, after those phone calls that were sort of good, and then all of a sudden now I'm ostracized. It's not a nice feeling, and it's in fact it's a portion of the family violence. It's a category that comes under. And guess who's now helped to instigate all of that? But yeah, I just want to know that you're okay and whatever, Mum, and also let you know sort of how I feel, and which I think is only fair. And I'm not holding any grudges. There's Emma to think about. I mean, really, you just got to tell me, you got to call me up and just tell me where you live, Mum, and then Rose, Emma and I drive around and say hello, and I bring you some flowers or something, and we have lunch, and just, yeah. And Emma needs to see her nana, and you can't have it like, what, I don't know, because Tara sort of said that you said that, oh, you don't know how that it would work out, like that, oh yes, you of course want to see Emma, but you don't know how that would work out. Like, what's that mean? That Emma and Rose go and see you, and then nobody ever sees me again? And like this, is it what, like what? That's fine with what's her face, that I never see her again, but that's understandable, you know. What else did I have to sort of say? Yeah, and I sort of got to, I had that 8 months of just Rose and Emma had left, and I was just all by myself. I had no idea what state I was in. I was getting fines driving around fast because I thought I was sort of allowed to do it, or I knew it was illegal, but thought I was allowed to do it. And I got to a point where, for some reason, I couldn't call you. I just, my brain couldn't make the decision to pick up the phone and call you, and I might have even tried a couple of times, but I was so, to put it bluntly, fucked up, because I had things all over the house. I'd lose my keys, I'd put this here, there, everywhere. I'm just walking around in circles. I think you can understand that a little bit, Mum. And I just couldn't think to call you to find out how you are, and all I thought was I had to find my mum. Where's my mum? Because all that I knew was Kim had told me that you'd gone up to Queensland and you were in the hospital, you had something wrong with your hand. And Kim was telling me something weird about you always have something wrong with your hand. She was telling me something witchy, I don't know. And then that you were up there a week or so, and this was during COVID, and I was just thinking, I was even thinking how careless of Lynette and Cheryl taking you away during the COVID time. I thought things were locked down, but anyway, that doesn't matter. Whatever, you came back and you're all right. But and then all I knew is you'd moved out of Prospect, and then into where Les and Pat are, which I never ever found out. All I know is somewhere in Lilydale. And yeah, I ended up at your place because I couldn't didn't have the mental fortitude to call you and find out how you are. I had to go and check because I thought maybe she was lying about the selling of the place and you might have still been there. And if not, I could have talked to the neighbours to find out where you were. And I just wanted to find my mum. That was all. And she just happened to be there cleaning, and I didn't go near her. I just questioned her on where you were. She didn't answer. She just didn't answer. She just stood there and didn't answer. And what is one to do? Is one to get happy when someone just ignores you like that and doesn't even explain to you that maybe you're not right and unwell? She didn't even do that, you know. And I left screaming some ridiculous things or whatever, but so what? And then all the thing comes from it. And I was just looking for you, Mum. That's all that was. And it just so happens that she was there, and then that's what ticked her off, I think, to do. She maybe thought I was following her or something ridiculous. It was a pure coincidence, and I've had many, many more coincidences that are just like the Warwick, Rose and Mary and Warwick coincidence. I've got about 15 of those stories. Yeah, and it was like you wouldn't read about it, that I'd show up and then sort of she'd be there. And what happened when I didn't get the answer that I was looking for, that where you were? I left. I moved away from the situation because I knew she wouldn't say anything else. And yeah, I was sort of a little bit not right, but I was still sane enough to just move away from it. And then I just sort of felt you were a bit against me because you were on her side, and because, you know, you get suspicious about everybody. You know, you do too, Mum, when you like how you thought about Rose. I remember one time you think about Rose, oh, Warwick, this Rose doesn't like me, or she doesn't whatever, and I'm like, no, Mum, not at all. She doesn't have it in her heart to think that way. She just thinks of you as Emma's nana, as family. Just that's as far as it goes. That it's family. Yeah. And anyway, that was just in one of your moments. I think that yeah, you just get sort of sketchy about people, you know. But yeah, Mum, I thought I'd sort of send you this. I don't know how it comes across. I don't mean to sound or look angry or anything like that, or I guess, well, I'm stressed about it all, so my face, I'm looking at myself in the camera in the screen as I'm filming it. You know, I never want to create ruffles. Lynette, if you watch this too, like, maybe you don't believe that, but I've had a guy when I was 17 and I was first with Belinda, my first girlfriend, and he loved her, this guy, and he comes out with a knife, and it was a 1 hour siege of this guy who lived a shit life, had a shit dad that used to sort of beat him. He came out just standing there with this knife and big bloodshot red eyes, just staring there, just not saying anything. I'm in an in-ground spa with Belinda. He's up higher on the level of the ground, and, you know, go inside, put the knife away, and then come back out with it. And then one stage I thought to myself, I better stand up, and lucky I did, because then he went to kick me and I blocked it, and then I ended up getting out of the spa. He had me in a headlock. I let him do it. I went limp when he had me in the headlock. You know, the Kerry thing, that was unfortunate. That was, you know, that's not me. That's not what I do. And this guy, anyway, he had me in the headlock and all this siege. I was telling him to do it, to hurry up and just do me in. Everybody was watching. There was 40 people watching. They're not doing anything to help either. And I was just telling him, go on, hurry up, and I meant it. Hurry up, just do it. We've had enough of this. It went on for an hour and a half. It was ridiculous. Anyway, the next day he came and apologised, and I said, look, and I'm 17, yeah? And I said, look, it's a difficult thing to do, to come and apologise for something like that. You know what, that's water under the bridge now. And then after that, he used to come to Belinda's. He'd have somewhere, a bit of a safe haven to be, because he was half homeless. He'd have someone to talk to and a little bit confide in, which was me, all because I equalised the situation. I didn't want to continue the viciousness of it. Even I went limp when he had me in a headlock, Lynette, you know, and let him kick me while he's, you know. So I don't think any of you really understand about me at all. And my moments have been through my illness. That is it. I want to send flowers to Kerry, but I feel like it's just opening the wound again. I know she has a hard time. I remember when we were at Kim's and we met, and we were all there, and Emma was 1 year old, and Kerry came up to me and was like, how you going? And I'm like, how you going? And she goes, oh yeah, just living, you know. And I could see it's hard for her, like, and I was angry at my family, and she was just up there with this, sorry, but this photo with no smile or makeup or looking like she wanted to be there. So the battery's going to run out. And I said the ridiculous thing that I said, you know, that's just not, it's not me. It's not. I'm ashamed of these things. You have no idea, and you have no idea what it's like to lose the plot. It's like hell. Mum can understand it in her way, Tara in hers, I in my way. They're all a little bit different, but sort of similar. And it's absolute hell, Lynette. And thank you for not giving me your email, which I already have. It's so difficult for me to write the whole thing because I have to get everything out. Until it's all there, and it's so difficult. I just keep writing and writing and writing, and it's still not enough to get the explanation across of sort of what's gone on in the last bit of it. And I'm not sure how much you'll get from this. This battery might run out in a second, but I hope you can see me a little bit more in a different light, and it doesn't. I don't need to be pushed over here in the corner, Mum. You know, just call me up, tell me. Well, you're not going to. I can feel it. So it's going to be difficult. Emma needs to see her nana, and you need to sort of wake up, and because what am I, a danger or something to the whole everybody? I mean, please. I don't even kill insects. And again, it's only during my illness. My bark is worse than my bite. And I just come up with crazy shit. It's just crazy stuff that just. And I had 8 months of it, and it was hell. And what I copped back from everybody, and not just you guys, but other places, was far more worse than whatever it is I was doing to anyone else. You have no idea what actually all went on too. There was all a long thing. But Mum, I just want to see you as well. I don't want to be like this the whole video. And I just hope you watch this, and look, I love you, Mum. You know, you're my mum. At times I don't answer the phone, yeah, or I don't think I'm rude to you, but that was just so, Lynette, just a snippet like that. Are you just rude to your mum and you don't answer the phone? Or what, is that all I am? Rude to, you know, you just snap and just that's all you say? And then not let me be able to come back with anything after I ask an email to sort of defend myself? I mean, that's a good way to fix problems. It's creating a block in actual fact, and any block is a sickness. Any sickness is just a block. You think about it, and everybody sort of not communicating is a sickness, and it's a block, and it's unhealthy, and it hurts people, and it needs to be thought about. Because in the end, I would never turn anyone away. They come and knock on my door. That guy, he wanted to kill me with a knife, and the next day I just went, yeah, sweet, you've apologised. You're a man now. Cool, we can get on with it. But I just hope, Mum, yeah, you give me a call. We'll wait till they come here, and I hope you give me a call. And if, because Tara won't tell me where you are, and she wants to respect your wishes there. I still can't understand how you've come up with it. But when Emma and Rose get here, if I don't know where you are, because you want to see Emma, and I'll be driving them to go and let you see Emma, because we're a family. Yeah, the three of us, Emma, Rose and I. It comes as a package. And I mean that, because it's really not, it's the not right type of thinking, Mum. And I think she's helped you lean towards that way, because again, like I said, it's just easier just to have me over there, and it doesn't bother whatever. And but honestly, she's created the, I can't say it, family violence in the end, and split the family. I was mentally unstable. I couldn't help myself. You've got to understand that, Mum. And then you said to Tara, I was rude to Kim. Kim left me on Christmas one year, didn't even tell me why, still never did. I asked her flat out, and she said, why do you think, Warwick? I mean, what is that? I sat there and cried all Christmas Day. You people have no idea. No idea at all. And I just couldn't find you when I was sick, and I just had to, and she was there, and that I just asked her, where are you? Where's Mum? Where's Mum? And she just stood there and didn't answer. Didn't even tell me I was sick and wasn't well, and that's why she wasn't telling me. She just let me go out in the wilderness and use the law, knowing through her vocation where she works, knowing how to use the system like that. It wasn't a danger to any of you, to her. I left when she wouldn't answer me. I left. I didn't get more in your face and tell me now. Sorry, it's all difficult. I just, yeah, again, want to, okay, this is going to have to sort of finish. I want to finish it on a nice one. But, I don't know what to say now. Just send, no, you can't use your mobile. Yeah, what I was going to say was, if Emma and Rose get here, and I don't know where you are, that we'll just go round to the nursing homes in Lilydale and just say how it is. We'll just say, we got back from China and all of a sudden don't know where you're living. And I hope you haven't done, I hope there's not some sort of a list, or like if I rang and they said, oh no, you're on a list, you can't talk to that person. I hope you haven't done anything like that. I mean, please. Because again, our last 4 conversations were great, Mum. They were good. Like, and you know how I get the feeling that you're about to ring, and then you ring. And it's happened more, and on many occasions. And I remember the last time I was in my bathroom, and I was like, I've got to call Mum. I've got to call Mum. I must call Mum, and I was going to call you. And I was revved up to call you, but then I get into just a mood where I just can't do it. And then I was waiting, but I was still going to do it. And then you called me, and I was like, oh, Mum, you know, and I was so excited, like, that you'd called, that I was going to do it, sort of thing. And then, yeah, and in the last, 5 or 6 times, it's happened 2 or 3 times on the day. I wouldn't think about you for days or weeks even, and then I just start thinking about you, and oh, Mum's gonna call, or I should call Mum, and boom, there you are. You know, so yeah, and our conversations, they're normally short and sweet, but I don't see why they can't still happen, and I can make more of an effort to find something to talk about. But I go through moods. I find it very difficult. Like anybody who rings at times, I won't answer the phone. I can't talk to people. I'm sort of too depressed to, and again, I don't want if I'm coming across negative, I don't want that to ruin the conversation and me be the one to bring the conversation down. So instead I tend to steer away from it and ignore it, you know. And these things like this, they only come out when someone has the chance to talk about it, you know. And then once they're heard, I'm sure it's like, oh yeah, now I can understand, and oh, that's okay, that sounds reasonable. But when there's the blockage like there's going on now, with people in their corners and no communication whatsoever, things fester, and it can damage people physically and mentally. And it's like, I feel the pressure from this immensely, and I have to deal with this. I can't function almost. I haven't been able to do stuff like the house. I've done actually a little bit in the last 2 weeks, more so, but I went 3 months. I hardly got off the couch. Like, you know, I probably look like shit now too, but I'm feeling alright today. That's why I'm making this video, because I just want you to connect. I just want to connect with you, Mum, and I don't know how else to do it. So this is going to go on YouTube. Anyone can watch it. No one will, because no one knows it's there. And yeah, just I hope maybe Lynette can help you put it on the, well, if you're watching it, you won't. That would have already been sorted. There's no use me telling that now. That's just a waste of whatever. Yeah, so maybe I should just finish it. Is there anything else I wanted to say? The Anzac game day match, did you guys watch it? That was a ripper of a game. What were we, 6 or 4 goals behind in 3/4 time? My boarder, he barracks for Collingwood too. He couldn't watch it, like when there was a point in it and stuff. He stopped watching it like you would do, Mum. You couldn't watch it if it's so close. But that last quarter, we just kicked like six goals and won by 13 points. And the Dacos brothers, see, I don't follow it that much, but I watch this. The Dacos brothers, they're great. One of them, he's a genius. They saying he's as good as his dad. Yeah, there's Nick and Josh. And then, yeah, I saw the captain, Darcy Moore, for the first sort of time. He seems only young, I guess, but level-headed, like, and a good player. Yeah, but we might be in the grand final this year, who knows? But, Yeah. Yeah, so Tara and I have had a few good talks, which has been great because I haven't been able to talk with anyone else. So that was really helpful. I couldn't believe she was in the hospital for 3 months. I was in the hospital for 23 days, but I was sick for about 8 months. They could have put me in that whole time, and no one stepped in to sort of get me in there, and someone could have, just with one phone call, they could have got me in there, but they didn't. They went the other way. They used the blue and white or whatever they are instead. I just needed medication and the hospital, that was all. And what was I saying that was a bit nicer before that? There was a football and then something. Yeah, see, I sort of don't want to finish it. It said the battery, replace battery, but it's still recording. I still sort of want to talk. There's got to be something that's sort of good, but maybe you're getting bored of this. Maybe I'm getting bored of it. Please just call me Mum and let me know where you are, and we just finish this. And January, July, August, I'm pretty sure they'll be here because Emma wants to come here, so Rose will say yes. If not, they're here in January. Yeah, so I hope you're keeping active or whatever, and you're still around in January. If it's not until then that they come. But I guess you need to think about it, and you're the master, like everybody else. You're the master of your own domain, but just think deeply about so far what's been going on here, Mum. That's all. Yeah, and I'll never in the end turn anyone away, no matter what they've done to me. You know, I might for a week or, just be shitty and then not want to, but I'll never in the end turn anyone away totally, like what's been happened to me. And that's before it ever happened to me too. I would never, but that's just on the Kerry thing, Leonard. I'm sorry, but your response was funny. Oh, don't talk to my family ever again. What, you're the boss of them, are you? Sorry, but you'd like, Yeah, and again, thanks for the email. That was really mature of you, Lynette. Oh, I just said can I have your email? I want to defend myself because you don't know the context. You're only on one side of the... People want to just sit on one side and know about 1% of what's been going on, and then they want to assume what they assume. You must assume that I'm some kind of real asshole, Lynette, or something. Or maybe it's just you don't like men. Maybe that's the problem. Because I've always actually been, and it's just when I've been sick that I've been off the planet and just been the total opposite of what. But when I'm not, I'm an extremely balanced individual and like to pride myself on seeing things from many different angles and standing from outside, being able to look in, which is a difficult trait for people to do because, well, everybody's basically egocentric, so they can't see 2 feet away from themselves.